We're up here at Concrete City in Pennsylvania. Today we're going to walk back this path. I'm not sure how treacherous it is. We're going to explore back there. But before we do that, I have this Craftsman knife right here. And I want to talk a little bit about knife safety, as it's very important. Okay, I'm going to strap this knife on my side right here. Okay, and you want to make sure your belt is secure. Now you're safe. Let's go check out this path, and we're going to turn over to Linda too as we're walking back there to talk a little bit about why these concrete buildings are here out in the middle of nowhere. This looks like the road. Got some graffiti on some of the concrete as we're coming up here. Viewer discretion is advised because they said there might be some explicit language on the graffiti on some of the buildings.
Yeah, and I'm imagining they put these giant things here so that nobody could actually drive up this road.
Which I was hoping to do.
Yes, we were.
So on the side of the path, we got a little monument here.
Yeah, not exactly sure what that's about. Normally these things are put here for the sake of somebody like dying by the side of the road, but you know, I can't imagine somebody died here unless it was like a murder, body dumped kind of thing. I don't know. Kind of strange though.
But I see some more graffiti covered stones up the hill here. And I noticed people came down the other path.
Yeah, they certainly did.
So I'm hoping we're going the right way and not wandering up into someone's backyard.
Well, they did say that it's a dirt road that leads up here. They didn't say a dirt path. So I'm assuming this is it.
Quite a little pond in the middle of the road there almost. But look right here. We got some animal tracks. Looks like deer. Over here we have some remains. Doesn't look like anything that would be inside of a Bigfoot though, does it?
No, and it doesn't look like chicken wings that have been discarded either. So I'm kind of curious.
Part of a vertebrae, perhaps?
It is vertebrae. Yep. Maybe even part of the rib cage. I don't know. Probably a deer. Probably discarded deer. Hunter threw his remains up here or something.
We've come to an intersection here.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people walking from this way, and this looks more like a road.
That's what I'm thinking.
So perhaps that's the way to go. Coming up the road here, there's something we can see.
There is. They said on the website that you
trees
could look
there.
off to the left and start to see the remains of the buildings. But they said that it's a fairly steep incline down the side here.
Right?
So they said if you walk just a little further down this path, it'll circle around back to those buildings.
Now let's just go take a look of an overview from the ledge here, perhaps. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Get a good view from here. We could go down this path if you'd like to. So we're going to try to take the ledge instead of going further down the road.
Yeah.
See what happens here. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, it's like a little village type area.
I know that. I thought you said something else.
This is pretty cool.
What?
Take a look inside the window here.
Look at all the other houses. They're building. Did somebody just serve something?
No, I stepped on something.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We're talking the show. It doesn't say nobody. That's the thing.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. The house is leaning.
Oh, yeah.
I think this place needs a little touch up. Yeah. Anybody wanna turn on the light switch?
So these were duplexes. You can see, I guess someone else would have lived next door. And then there's stairs going up. Let me walk in, let's explore this lower level here. A plethora of graffiti, that's for sure. And there's the basement.
You can go right down to that very bottom one.
There's more like a crawl space under there,
Oh, I can see.
suppose. I don't know, it was always like that.
I'm not sure you want to go upstairs because of the structural safety.
Yeah, that's probably right. However, I'll just go take a peek around the corner up here. I mean, I imagine if dynamite couldn't take these down. Well, I don't know. I guess to say it's built like concrete. No pun intended. All right, let's head back downstairs.
Not bad upstairs?
Not bad. So we've got some bullet holes in the wall here.
Yeah, not surprised.
This is amazing. What's the story? Get a little bit of the background about this town here.
Well, the town was originally built for miners. The miners that were immigrants, those who did not speak English, were not allowed to live here. It was going to house about 40 families, and they're built out in basically like a big rectangle. 5 duplexes down each of the long sides, 4 duplexes down the short sides of the rectangle. The interior was used as a courtyard. There were, all kinds of sports things, basketball hoops. There was a pool out there, evidently. So we have to figure out the way this is oriented. I'm guessing that maybe the other buildings are on this side and that this area right in the center back behind Jeff is probably the courtyard. But each of the buildings is exactly the same. And when the families moved in here, this was kind of a feat of modern technology at the time, being able to pour a concrete duplex in one day. It only took one day to pour all of the concrete for these things. Unfortunately, it wasn't but a couple of decades later when they started having problems with the homes. The water, infiltration and moisture and things of that nature. They also had concrete outhouses for each of these things, and the concrete outhouses, of course, required septic, sanitation kind of stuff, and For some reason, they couldn't get that to function well. So after some problems with it, they just decided to abandon the whole concrete city, as they call it. And it's just kind of been laying in ruins here ever since. They attempted to destroy it, had no luck at it. After using about 100 sticks of dynamite on one of these buildings, they didn't cause a whole lot of damage and decided that this was going to be a much bigger job than it was worth, and they just leave it here. I'm guessing that perhaps because of the condition of this house compared to the one next to it, that this may very well have been the one that they were trying to blow up. And you can see as we're standing here looking up, this wall right in front of us is actually leaning toward us. And it's pretty scary to look up and see that thing leaning like that. Now, I haven't come across any ghost stories about this place. I was kind of curious. It seems like it should be haunted, but being as how there was only, 24 years of people living here, it very well could be that it's not. And if it is haunted, it's probably not by anything good, because as you can see up here, we've got a pentagram and 666 up there on the wall. So it could be haunted by something evil.
Right. Now, I noticed a recent addition to the left of that window.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
But these buildings, well over 100 years old. This was back in the 20s we were talking.
Yes,
1920s.
it was a long time ago that they built these things. They've been sitting out here ever since, just being reclaimed by nature. But because of the structure of these things, they'll remain here. They'll remain.
So I'm thinking what we should do is walk towards this one.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it looks like there's a little less brush in front of that one, or a little less trees.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe from the upstairs, we can get a look out over the courtyard.
Could be, or
And
we
see
could
in the
just walk
direction of
out
the
into
pool. We could walk out this way. There is a slight path. No poison ivy, which is good, that I can see.
Thank you.
Though I don't think I'm allergic to that anyway, because I've had some encounters with it before, but luckily no reaction.
Yeah, I've already seen poison ivy. So it is around. So this does look to be the courtyard area. Somebody online did describe that there were roads kind of cut through here, muddy ruts and stuff through the area. And I'm guessing that since we have a row here, there's going to be a row of houses on the other side that runs parallel to this. And as you can see, back this way, here's one of the short ends of the rectangle.
Oh yeah, I
And
see
you
some
can
more
see some of
houses
the
through there.
buildings back in there. So,
Yep. The courtyard is pretty well overgrown,
it is.
but these are the buildings over here that run parallel to the ones we were just in.
Yeah, and the courtyard is not huge by any means. It's not a very large courtyard.
But here you can get a better view of how they're laid out. We've got part of a car door lane here, but judging from the buttons, it doesn't look like it's been here since the 20s. I could be wrong, but at this point, I don't think I am.
Yeah, and kind of along those lines, if you come out here, don't throw trash everywhere. Like, don't be an asshole. There's nothing but trash all over the place. People just litter. They just leave all of their crap everywhere. This is still nature. Nature is actually reclaiming this place. And it's going to be extremely polluted because of all the crap laying around that people just leave here. The spray painting, there's probably not much you can do about it. I don't condone it. I don't think it's good. But it does lend sort of a crazy aesthetic kind of quality to the old concrete buildings. you're not going to stop the vandalizing, but you know, at least if you're vandalizing, don't put cuss words on the walls. Kids walk through here, you know, and you got a big picture of a penis painted on the wall. I mean, you know, put something artistic on here. If you're going to do something like that, then at least make it something that people want to see, that they like to see. Don't be an idiot.
That's a very well put nature advice from Linda. Oh, I've got some shotgun shells here too.
A little bit of everything out here. So this is actually one of the better ones that I've seen. You don't have the trees and underbrush growing right up against the front of the house, so you can see a little bit more about the way this was laid out. You can see there's a front door at the opposite ends here, and there were 4 bedrooms in here. A downstairs, typical kitchen, dining room, living room, that sort of thing. Upstairs were the bedrooms. They each had a full basement as well. The basement sounds like it would be kind of a creepy place to go right now. And I'm sure some of these are probably a little bit filled in, and you probably can't even really get down there much. I think the first house that we went into was kind of like that.
Yeah.
But
But I did notice on the first house we went to, the foundation was messed up.
it was.
Let's take a look in this one.
Yeah.
And perhaps they say once you've seen one, you've seen them all, but I beg to differ. I think each one might have its own feel to it.
Yeah. Each one has a different picture of a penis painted on the wall.
Right. Different artwork. They're in different stages of condition, some of them.
Yes.
This one you can actually see what's that called, those metal things? I bought some of them not too long ago.
Oh, rebar.
Rebar. You can see them actually coming through here.
Yeah.
So you can get a good look at how it's put together. And those things run up through the ceiling. You can see here where some of the ceiling has fallen down. Oh, no. Okay, it says hell. And this basement does look a little more open down there. I don't know. Perhaps we'll come back to it. But what I want to do is get a vantage point. Oh, like you can see where the stove probably was.
Oh, yeah.
Chimney.
Yeah, so perhaps this was the kitchen.
And oddly enough, there's a sheets bag. Everywhere we go,
Oh, we did.
sheets happens to come up. This upstairs looks significantly darker.
It does. I wonder why that is.
Just going slow, gotta watch the footing. I'm sure this place has no danger of falling in. People come up here and spray paint without hesitation and walk through all these rooms. But you don't want to hit that sweet spot.
That's right.
There's more stairs. Do these have 3 levels?
I don't know. Maybe it's to the attic.
Huh? They just go to a closed off section.
Oh.
I didn't notice those in the other one. But let's look out over the courtyard here. Kind of see what we can see. Still can't see a whole lot. You can see the roof line of some of the ones across the way there. And then you can see more clearly the ones down here. And the rebarb coming out of the roof.
So one thing I want to mention too is think about your own safety when you come to a place like this. There are other people walking around here. You don't know who these people are. You don't know if they're being safe. There was just a gunshot just a couple houses away from where we were. People don't think about the fact that, you know, bullets deflect off of things, and somebody could very well get hurt or even killed by that kind of behavior. So You know, again, if you come out to a place like this, don't be an idiot.
I wonder if people bring ladders out here.
How would you say that?
Because like this one with the pumpkin and the flower,
Oh,
that took some time.
yeah.
And it's up kind of high. You can't just stand on the ground and hit that.
Yeah.
Gunshots all over the place here.
It's hot once you get in here too.
Yeah.
You don't feel that breeze. Is that a Sheets coffee cup?
Yeah, someone's been partying out here with some sheets.
Yeah.
Another basement. Oh, okay, this basement we can actually see down in a little more. And there it is. It is indeed a full basement. Wow. Basement windows. So right here, characteristic of the area, you find some anthracite coal. Look at that. That's some shiny stuff right there.
We have a collection of anthracite at home, don't we?
We do.
We've gotten from places like this.
We do. And it's something to think that this anthracite coal, that's the reason these buildings are here.
That's right. Yep. It was a nearby mine, and all of the miners,
Yep.
the higher class miners, I should say, were supposed to live here.
They were here for the anthracite.
Yep. This looks like a neat area back here.
It does. I haven't seen any frogs. You said you've seen a couple of them?
Oh, yeah. I've seen two just in the past few minutes. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, one of the things that they did say about this area is that there's a lot of times fires are set out here. You can tell that there was a fairly large fire set in the room here, as evidenced by the soot and everything that's poured out this window. So at one time this thing had caught fire and burned pretty good, it looks like, in the first and second floors. Come look at here. This is a really creepy one. Maybe it's just because of all the black soot and everything all over the ceiling, but you can also see that one of the second floor floors has actually fallen through.
Oh, yeah.
A big hole has been made there. Not exactly sure what all of this wire is that's laying all over the ground, but it looks like maybe it was where a fire was started.
That's crazy. How long ago was that fire, do you know?
I don't know. I think people have set fires in here, you know, just ever since it was abandoned.
Venturing along the outside, behind the buildings here. You can see the wood where the old shutters were. Ooh, look at this one.
Oh, yeah. Maybe this is the one that they were trying to destroy.
Wow.
water there.
Hey, yeah. How else would those get in here, right?
Right.
So why is there a fire going on in there? Was there anybody?
Because
Nobody
people
in
are idiots. That's what I keep saying. Like, why would you set a fire in a place like this? There's no point in it. No point whatsoever. It's not like you're camping here, you know?
Yeah.
What the hell are you gonna set a fire for, you know? Stupid.
So I guess we should put it out.
Yeah.
Is there anybody around here? There's not like some kind of ritual that we're
Not that
walking
I've
on here,
seen.
right?
It's the last of our water.
That's all right. I noticed some more outside the door here.
Yeah, I'm not drinking that.
All right. So after walking out of the burning building, looking around the outside of these places, I'm not sure where all these trails go. But this one down here is in pretty bad shape too.
It is.
Yeah, it's a shame to see it in such ruins.
It is.
That big piece of concrete just hanging down there.
Yeah, this one's probably in the worst shape any of them that we've seen. Not exactly sure why. But, yeah, it's crazy to see. Each of these things weathering differently despite the fact that they were identical.
Over this side, you can really see the roof hanging down. And this would have been perhaps the end of this side of the court, as these houses seem to face the other way. Not the other way, but face a different direction, basically forming the bottom line of the square, or the rectangle. So this is a good perspective, because you can see these houses are at the bottom of the rectangle, and then all those houses we just came from were up at the side of the rectangle.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a corner house.
It's a pretty good picture in there. So coming from the bottom side of the rectangle, we're coming up to the top side of the rectangle. We checked out the houses along this side. One of the houses over that side is where we initially came in. We just want to do a sweep of the top part here and just make sure there's nothing that we missed.
Right.
Get a look at the unique condition that these houses are in.
Mm-hmm.
neat to be able to see this one behind you where you get the whole view of the house.
It is. It is really cool. I had to take a couple pictures because, I mean, who knows how much longer these things are going to last. And, you know, this is a really good view of what these things look like. Probably the best view that you're going to get of one of these houses because so many other ones are overgrown by plants and weeds and stuff. So, yeah, it's kind of cool.
These ones up along the top side here are similar to the first ones we've encountered. They're kind of covered up by the trees. Can't get a really good view of them.
Yeah, there is a little more of an opening down this way where you can get a better view. So. We've been spray painting trees around here.
Yeah, and in case you didn't know, it's a tree. This one, the ceiling looks like it's in a lot better shape than some of the ones we've seen.
It does. Yeah, no arsonists through this one, obviously. I'm not sure why, but for some reason they like that one back over there.
So coming up the hill, I found the biggest piece of coal that I've just about ever picked up laying on the ground. I had to do a little bit of digging to get it out, but it's a pretty good example, pretty good chunk, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
So Concrete City is a pretty cool place. It really is. It's amazing to come and see all these buildings just sitting here in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
The courtyard all overgrown where there once was a pool and courts and things for people to hang out and have fun, and
Yeah.
all the people that lived here, that came here, like I said, for the coal.
Yeah.
Quite a place.
It is. It is quite a place, and it's a little bit surreal. I mean, it's right out here in the middle of the woods. There's nothing around here but woods on either side, and it's just kind of strange to think, you know, that this place is sitting here just kind of going to ruins, and nothing's being done with it, you know. It's kind of too bad. It's a shame.
It would be nice to preserve at least a couple of them
Yes.
for kind of a history attraction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the land here is owned by the city, so it's not like they can't do anything with it.
Right,
So.
right. It'd be nice to preserve, but it's neat to catch a glimpse into the past as nature does come back to reclaim.
Yeah.
100 years.
Yeah.
And there's still quite a bit left. So
There is.
that speaks to a couple things. You know, the quality that these buildings were made,
Right.
the durability of them, and
Yes.
the time it does take for nature to come back and reclaim some things.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm just an old coal miner and I labor for my bread. This story in my memory I've here told. For the sake of wife and baby, how a miner risks his life for the price of just a little lump of coal. Don't forget me, little darling, when they lay me down to rest. Tell my brothers all these loving words I say. Let the flowers be forgotten, sprinkle coal dust on my grave in remembrance of the UMWA. Mother Jones is not forgotten by the miners of this field. She's gone to rest above, God bless her soul. Tried to lead the boys to victory, but was punished here in jail for the price of just a little lump of coal. When a miner in the morning gets his car up to the face, He'll set some timbers, then he'll bore himself a hole.